Hi, I'm Emily Pope. I am Knowledge Transfer Manager for the AHDB. We're here today at the Strategic Farm East with Brian Barker.
Hi, I'm Brian, Strategic Farmer, and we're going to be talking about our cover crop and nitrate trial that we've got in the ground this year.
So during the first year of the Strategic Farm East, we undertook a process of baselining. We wanted to have a really good look at what the conditions are like here at Brian's farm, and as part of that we did some water assessments looking at the water coming out of the drains.
Yeah, so we basically called it the field urine test, where I was actually measuring the water coming out of the drains, sending them off for analysis with Essex and Suffolk Water, and we found some really interesting findings about the level of nitrates when you compare an overwinter plough against an overwinter cover crop. And so this is what we then developed this year on the trial. So we've actually ploughed the field just over the lawn here, and we have left half of it as the overwinter plough, and half of it has been put under an overwinter cover crop after it's been ploughed, to see if we can actually absorb the high nitrates that were released from an overwinter plough and try and absorb them into the cover crop. So we try to do this to see if we can sort of change the way we think about how nitrates come out from underneath the field, and if we can use cover crops in a better way when we're looking at the idea of public money for public goods and everything with the Health and Harmony document.
So we've done quite a lot of activity around cover crops through AHDB monitor farms and now at the strategic farms, and we're also looking at it in our research project. So we've had a research review that has recently been funded and published, and we have a current project called the Maxi Cover Crop Project. And as part of both of those projects, we've been looking at species selection and how important it is to select the most appropriate species for the aim of why you're growing cover crops. So for you, Brian, obviously it was about reducing nitrate losses, so therefore we had a look at the species and we looked at the selection for those qualities. So can you tell us a bit more about which species you're growing in this trial?
Yeah, so this trial we only used the oil radish and rye because in the research it suggested that it was the biggest nutrient sponge that we can use, but then elsewhere on the farm I'm using a more multi-species cover crop, but that's more for biodiversity, for soil organic matter building. So there, as Emily said, there's different ways to use cover crops, and this is what we're doing, but this trial is based around being a nutrient sponge that we can sort of absorb as much that has been applied that wasn't used by previous crops and then take it forward. So it's been an interesting trial, and the only problem is this year the winter's been so dry that the drains actually haven't run, so we're sort of up against it, but there's the trial we've taken all the way through. There'll be a following crop that we monitored, and then the future crop we monitored, and then the results we then put back to the farmers who attend the farm open day, which is on the
6th of June.
6th of June. So please come along and see, and if you're interested, please get involved and ask us a few questions.